Well, welcome everyone. We're excited to join you today and have our January webinar and show some new LVI features and fun, exciting things. So we're glad that you're all here. Today we will be talking about an overview of the MagniLink compatible iPad devices with AI integration. And Christopher will be showing that off live in Sweden. And we're focusing today on the iTab, the MagniLink S, better known as the MLS, and the Ergo. I am Kimberly Klein. I'm the Director of Sales for LVI America. And as I mentioned, today we're joined by Christopher Caswell, Export Sales Manager, and he is in Sweden right now. On the screen, we have a couple pictures. We have a picture of an iPad with some text on it, and then our interface for our MagnaLink Viewer app at the bottom of the screen. We also have a picture. It's a circle. It kind of looks like a world, but it has AI, and then like it's looking at someone's brain because the AI can figure out the text and things like that. So it's a cool picture for that. And then it also says download on the App Store, and we'll talk more about that. The background is bright white with black lettering, and then we have some orange decoration on the slide because those of you that are familiar, LVI is known for orange. That's our color. The whole webinar today is being transcribed. That just got turned on. So we're thrilled to be able to do that as well because we want to be able to make it accessible for everyone. The next slide goes over our learning objectives. First of all, I want to clarify today is we are not offering ACB REPs, but we still want to have learning objectives every time we do a webinar because we want to make sure that we cover some great features. And so the learning objectives for today are learn how an iPad can be wirelessly or directly connected to one of our MagnaLink devices and the benefits of each connected method because some people prefer wireless and some people prefer wired. There's no right or wrong, and we'll talk about the benefits of both. We'll also discuss the LVI video magnifier camera choices available to use with the iPad. You'll be able to take all the information that you learned today, synthesize it, put it together, and recommend the best alternative for your client or for yourself. And you'll have a very clear view of our iPad selections by the end of the webinar. Also, there's a picture on here that looks like a bullseye with a target, and we want to make sure we hit that bullseye today. And then there's a orange picture at the top, like a kind of like an orange moon. One of the first things that Christopher will talk about in just a minute is the MagnaLink iTab, and we have done some webinars featuring the iTab, but we want to give you some updates and give you clarification on that as well as show off the product. The MagnaLink iTab is our product that has a stand, and it is pictured here. Someone's actually adjusting the stand, a student in a classroom, and you can tilt the stand. Those of you that are familiar with our tab product would be very familiar with this style of stand. It's the exact same style, except this one is set up to work with an iPad. Where we differ from our tablet product or our tab product is with the tab product, you can get it with an i5 or an i7 Surface Pro tablet, and or you can also just get it with the stand. With our iTab product, we do not sell iPads. So that's not something that we do. We will not be doing that in the future. So just we wanted to have full clarification that the iPad device is not included in this product. You can get this product with or without the distance camera. And the beauty of that, and the reason we offer it that way, is because some of you already have one of our cameras. Some of you already have a MagnaLink S, as I said, an MLS, or you have a Zipper or Pro. And those particular products can also be used with the stand. And most commonly, you would use the MLS. But we're just saying, hey, you already have these products. Let's benefit from that and then just use the two in connection with each other. If you're wondering, well, why would I buy a stand? Kimberly, I could just use a stand, any stand that I have for an iPad. That's correct. You can surely do that. Our stand is ergonomically set up to where you can split the screen, and that's what this student has done here in the picture, to where the camera on the iPad is in kind of a unique place, and you need to be able to have that stand angled properly where you can put a book or something underneath it to be able to split that screen and be able to use the camera, the distance camera at the same time. So that's the beauty of the stand is how it ergonomically works. Also, used to be, not that long ago, you couldn't plug an iPad directly into, excuse me, you couldn't plug one of our cameras into an iPad. And so now you can, but it does kind of zap some of that power from the iPad more quickly. So a student's not going to get through a 6 hour day. So what we've done in this stand that's very unique from our tab stand is this particular stand actually has on the back where you can actually plug in. So it's got you can't tell it's there. It's really sleek how they put it in, but it allows you to be able to plug in the camera to the top and you also can charge the iPad while you're using it. So that it's very neat. That's unique. And so there are some definite benefits to having this stand. And then when you buy an iPad, you get, I think it's usually about a 20-25 watt charger. And we know that that's not going to be powerful enough to be able to charge the unit while you're using it. So if you just do decide to buy the stand because you have an S or you have a Zip or a Pro, we also give you a very powerful charging cord with it. That's like, I believe it's 55, 60 watts. And that allows you to be able to use the product, charge it at the same time that you're using it, and gives you a full product use. So there are a lot of beauties to that stand. Our stands are made out of high-grade airplane aluminum, which makes them very light, but it also makes them very durable. I'm not saying throw it on the ground, but I'm just saying it is very durable. I always think I fly a lot, so I think of high-grade airplane aluminum. I want it to be light enough to fly, but sturdy enough to where if we don't, if we happen to crash in that plane, it's going to withstand and do very, very good job. So you guys are pretty familiar with our products. They're all made out of very high-grade pieces, but these stands are made out of high-grade airplane aluminum. As I mentioned, it has an ergonomic tiltable stand. It's very lightweight and transportable. It does come with a carrying case. Now, if you just get the stand itself, you're going to be able to use your MLS case that you already have because it's really neat because everything's going to fit all together in there and you'll be able to utilize that. And this particular product and any of our iPad products, because there's a few that we're not showing today, we're not going to show the wireless ones today, which would be the MagniLink Wi-Fi cam and the Magni Wi-Fi. But all of our iPad products use an app called the MagniLink Viewer app, and it's available on the App Store, and it is a free app. So those of you that already have an iPad or have an iPhone and you want to utilize it on those products, you can do that. But if it's not, if you're using it with just your iPhone or just an iPad and you're not directly connected into one of our cameras, you're not going to be able to get every single feature. You wouldn't have OCR. You wouldn't have form filling. You wouldn't have the ability to, of course, be able to have a distance camera and then another camera and being able to split the screen and all of those things. So all of the advanced features, basically it's a really cool software because it knows if you're connected to one of our distance cameras and it adds those features in. And if you're not connected and you're just using it with an iPhone or an iPad, those features just don't appear. So it's very smart. It's smart software and it figures all of that out. So that's really, really cool. Also, today we're going to be showing AI, and if you're not connected to one of our cameras, the AI portion of the software is not there either. So you have to be plugged into one of our cameras to get the new AI feature. We're also going to be featuring the MagnaLink S today. We'll be plugging it into an iPad. This particular picture that's on the screen right now is showing it with a PC, and that's one of the great things about the MagnaLink S. I call it the super product because it works with PC, Mac, Chrome, iPad, and monitor. And so it's really cool because it has all of those options. So that's why we wanted, if people already had an MLS, We wanted you to be able to use it with the iPad, and that's why we do sell just the stand for the iTab product in case you want to use the MLS camera that you have. So using the MLS, of course, it has a full HD camera. It's 1920 by 1080 resolution. You can use it for distance, near, and document reading. It does offer 10x optical zoom. It's super lightweight. It only weighs 4.2 pounds, and it has the option of OCR and TTS. If you're using it with an iPad, which we're showing today, it automatically has the TTS. You don't have to purchase a license, but if you are using it with PC, Mac, or Chrome, there is a licensing fee for that TTS because we have to pay the licensing fee ourselves. It is just a one-time fee. It's not an annual renewal, so don't get that confused with some AI things that we talk about today. So the text to speech, we're not changing. Those are a one-time licensing fee. The MLS has a portable carrying case. It has an inside zipper case that fits just the S itself, which is very portable. You can take the strap off the bigger case and put that on the smaller one, and or you can carry the bigger case to where if you want to carry your iPad in there with you or your PC, Mac, or Chromebook, that is also available. In the picture, we have it connected, as I mentioned, to a PC, and it's actually focused across the room looking at a board, and you can see the teacher's actual hand up on the whiteboard, and that's magnified up on the screen, which is really, really cool. The MLS, as I mentioned, I call it the super product. We have a few other things that we want to talk about with the MLS that maybe you might not know. The particular slide that popped up now, it says MLS continued. We're showing the MLS in a docking station, and this is a plate docking station. So it kind of turns it into the same format as it would be if it were a zip. It's that same type of plate that would be at the bottom of that zip, and that MLS is put in there. You can tell that there's an actual structure that holds it, which makes the camera very, very tight. So there's no wobbling to it or anything like that. And then when you don't want to use the plate, you just actually take the MLS out of the back of that unit. It's really handy. I'm going to show you a couple other docking stations on the next slide. The MLS allows you to do 1.1 to 75 magnification, again, with or without text to speech. You can get the docking stations with, we have one with XY table, or you can get it without. But the MLS also itself has its own little docking station if you just wish to purchase it. It's a really cute little docking station. We've got it on the next slide. It kind of looks like the size of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You can move it forward, backward, and left and right. When you're using a docking station, we also provide an external control panel that we give you as well. It's kind of like an oversized hand control. The next slide does show the different docking stations. We do feature the one with the plate again. I mentioned it's got a plate like an actual zip plate. The one in the middle is the docking station with XY table. That's probably our most popular docking station that we offer. This is a really good picture because you can see behind where the S is just kind of docked right into that. And you can see that it's real simple. You just lift up and pull it out, and now you're ready to go. So that docking station would stay in whatever environment that you're using it in, but you don't need to carry it around. So now you've got still the small little 4.2-pound camera. The next picture on the top right shows the MagniLink S all up by itself with the legs back. I always say it's a really good cheerleader. It can do the full splits, and that's how the legs should be. They should be all the way back. Then you have a hand control. The bottom hand control, you get this hand control when you purchase a docking station because how the actual MLS camera fits in the docking station, the controller that's on the unit itself is covered up. So you need to have that hand control in order to be able to utilize it to make it smaller, larger, change colors, etc. if you have it just plugged into a monitor. All of those features when you're using our PC viewer, Mac viewer, Chrome viewer, or a MagniLink viewer software is built into the software. But if you're just using it with a monitor, you would need to use the actual controls on the unit. And then in the bottom left-hand corner shows that portable XY table that I mentioned to you that is made specifically for the MLS. The cool thing about this actual XY table is it fits right in the case of the MLS. So again, super product. You've got a lot of things you can do with it. Christopher will be showing just the tip of the iceberg with it today, and he'll be featuring it with the iPad. The last product that we're going to feature today that also works with our iPad is the MagniLink Air Go. This is one of our newer products. If you haven't seen it, by the way, we will be at ATIA and we hope you come by our booth and we will have this product there. But it will connect to your iPad. It does have a battery in it that lasts 5.5 hours, so it gets you through a school day. You can use it with or without having it plugged in. But if you have a fully charged battery, again, you're going to get about 5.5 hours of use. The specs is it weighs 12.3 pounds. It measures in diameter 8.2 inches. The height is 12.2 inches. And that does include the handle because there's a cool little handle, a carrying handle at the top. And the camera is a 30x optical zoom camera versus a 10x optical zoom camera. So this is the reason for this is you could be, 50, 60 feet across the room and you want to zoom in on something and do OCR. And that capability does exist with this camera because it is 30x optical zoom, which is really cool. And the other cool thing about this, because it's our Air family of products, is you can set up preset settings because this is a motorized camera versus a stationary camera. So you're not having to move this camera. It's actually motorized. You can set up 6 preset locations when you're using it with an iPad and just hit a button and it will automatically go to those locations. So that's really cool because you just set up the preset locations and then there's no moving of the camera. You're just controlling everything through software, which is incredible. All right, today the other exciting thing that we're going to be talking about is our AI integration. It only currently works with our iPad products, and the 3 products that it works with are the MLS plugged into an iPad, the AirGo, and the iTab. And that's what Christopher will be featuring today. Let's talk about some examples of AI because we know that AI is quite the exciting part of not just assistive technology, but all technology. We're starting to see it, and we've been seeing it for years. We're excited to now start offering it in our products, and we've decided to start with our iPad products. And the 3 that I mentioned that you can use it with again is the MLS, plugging the MLS directly into an iPad, using the iTab or the AirGo. So some examples that Christopher will be showing off in a little bit live of how to use the AI is place a newspaper or an article underneath it, perform text to speech, and then request a summary of the document. And that's really cool because if you have low vision and you're trying to look at a document with a lot of information, you're going to maybe get some eye strain if you're really trying to find something, very detailed. For an example, if it's a bill and you're trying to figure out the amount of the bill, you're now looking down through it, trying to focus and find what you're looking for. And even when you get at the size and the color and everything that you want, which makes it easier, there can still be some fatigue or eye strain if you're doing that for school or if you're doing it for a job and you're utilizing your vision to do that for a long period of time. So that's a really neat feature to be able to do that. You also can translate the text into another language. So you could say, translate this to, well, for example, Swedish, and it would translate that text to that. You can ask general questions about the document. So you could say, where do I pay this bill? How much is the bill? And it's going to find that information and come and give you the feedback back on that. So again, you're going to perform a TTS or text to speech on the document, inquire about the billing address, the bank account number, the amount due, and you'll see all that live in just a minute. Some things that have came up for us, questions since we've introduced the AI integration are pricing, how does the license work? Is it different than the text to speech licenses? And the answers to all of that are yes, it is different. And we're here today to clarify any questions that you might have about that. First of all, an AI license is available now. You can purchase it now as an option. All you need to do is you would send an order in with your serial number. So make sure that your reseller has that information. Because if you just say, I want to, purchase AI and you give them a purchase order without a serial number, we can't turn it on. So we do have to have the serial number. That's really, really important. The current introductory price is $300. It will remain $300. We are changing the price. It will go up to $375, and that'll happen in March. So that gives you the rest of this month and next month to get it for the $300 pricing. It is a 3-year license. So that is how the pricing works. It's good for 3 years, and you will get updates during that 3 years. We're not going to be charging you for the updates. And we have some really cool updates coming out. Christopher can talk a little bit more about that. But just know that what you're seeing now that we released, you get that, but all the other updates that are going to come out for this particular AI integration will be free for those 3 years. It can be used, as I mentioned, on an iPad, and you have to be connected to the MagniLink I tab, MagniLink S, or the MagniLink Air. Now, if you're just wanting to check out AI integration, you say, hey, I think I want to invest the money, but I'd like to check it out. We do offer a free 14-day trial. You still need to send something into orders to do that. And again, we need a serial number. Now, something you need to be careful with, don't request it and think, oh, I'm just going to get the activation code in my email and, I'll check that out next month. Ours is a little different. Once you request it, we turn it on same day. And the trial does begin the moment that it's requested. So wait until you're going to have time to play with it. And it is we don't keep any features or hold anything out. It's the full thing, just as if you paid the $300. And that is for a 14-day trial. So we hope that you either decide to try the trial first, which I highly recommend, and or decide that you want to purchase it for one of your devices. And I see there's questions popping up, and I'll address those in just a second. Some other questions that have came up are, do we store the data? So first of all, we want to make sure you understand we are using ChatGPT, but we're not storing any data at all. So we are not holding on to any of the data because you might say, you're going to school and you want it to make a document for you about seeing eye dogs and you want it to be 5 paragraphs, et cetera, et cetera. Again, we're not storing that. You might scan in a bank statement. We're not keeping your bank data. We're not keeping any of that information. So we're not storing it. Will you be charged for updates? No, you will not be charged for any of the updates at all, the minor updates during the 3-year license. Now, we may during that 3 years come out with a totally different, an additional license for AI, and it could have some very different features than the common ones that we're doing now. And at that point, then yes, that would be a different style of license. And I can't tell you when, I can't tell you what's going to be in that, but let me kind of just give you some examples. Some updates that will be coming, we will be recognizing handwriting and object recognition, meaning that you'll be able to point it at something and it's going to say that's a 75-inch TV, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can't do that right now, but you will be able to. So we don't consider that a major update. That's a minor update. That would be part of what you purchase now, and you would be getting that for free. Do I need to be connected to Wi-Fi to use AI? Yes, you do. In fact, you need to ensure that you turn your Wi-Fi on, make sure that your iPad's connected. Before you launch the MagniLink Viewer app, you go ahead and launch the app. If you have paid for or you're using the free version for the 14 days, you're going to get an icon at the bottom of the screen that says AI. Now, the first time that you go to use this, you do need to activate it. There's a couple ways to activate it. Whether you get a free license or a paid for license, you're going to get an email. And in that email, it's going to give you a code. That code can be typed in, and Christopher's going to show all that in a minute. And or we give you a QR code. You can scan that QR code because we added that to our software. And if you scan that QR code, it's going to put the license code in there for you. So those are kind of just some of the very high highlights of it. Christopher's going to be showing it live I'm going to switch over to Christopher, and then once I do that, I'll check the questions and I'll start answering those as well. I'm going to stop sharing, and then Christopher, I'm going to actually pin you so we don't get bouncing.
All right, let me know when I'm good to go.
Okay, you're pinned, but let me quickly see what the question is. Yes, prices are US. Thank you for that reminder. So prices that I'm giving you are US prices. So that 300, that 375, those are US pricing. All right, Christopher, take it away. It's all you.
All right, thank you. Lots of information. So let me come in here from live from Sweden, our headquarters, and see what I can show you and what I can talk about and add to all of that information. Thank you, Kimberly. On the table in front of me, I have a total of three products, and since the topic of today's webinar is AI, we will be focusing on the iPad. The product that I will be showing off the most during my little presentation here will be the iTab. I'm going to grab the iTab from the table in front of me, hold it up, so you can see that it's really flat, thin, gives you a nice handle, so it's easy to carry. If you choose to go with the full version, that's also having the external full HD camera, both for near, self, and distance viewing, it comes as a separate piece. For this product, I place it on the table. In the front, I have an opening so that I can easily just grab with my hands and fingers to open the product nicely. And then I will slide out the iPad in this case, or you can say the monitor so far, so that it will give me the best angle depending on if I'm sitting, standing, if I'm tall, short. I can angle the iPad to fit the best way for me in any situation. On the back of the device, there's a hole. That's where I plug in the external camera. That's what I'm doing here right now. At the top of the product, there are two USB ports available. Actually, there's three USB ports available, one for charging and two available for anything else. In this case, I'm using one for the camera, and the second one is available for a flash drive or a keyboard or something like that. We'll come back to that in a little bit. The other product that has been mentioned is our more versatile product called the MagniLink S or the MLS. It's a just about 4-pound product that folds very nicely, comes in a carrying case like the iTab as well. In 3 steps. 1, pull out the legs. 2, 3. I'm opening the product and it's now ready to be placed on the table. None of these comes with a battery. They are both using power from the computer or the iPad, whatever I'm using. So I do plug in the USB-C cable, and then we will come back to that product in just a little bit. The third product, the MagniLink Air Go, a 12-pound product that is transportable, movable. This one was designed and developed based on feedback where students wanted to be able to sit anywhere in the classroom and they did not want any camera on their desk. They wanted to use a computer or an iPad, and they needed distance viewing. So I will connect my iPad here to the MagniLink Air Go. That will be the first one out. And to show you some of the features that Kimberly mentioned, where how you can control the motorized 30 times optical zoom camera on this product. And I will also show you the preset positions because those are unique to this product. And then we will continue with the other ones. I connect the MagniLink Air Go via Wi-Fi. There is also a repeater built in, so I can also be connected to the internet at the same time. I will have my webcam coming closer so that we can see what's going on. Before I go too close, I just wanted to mention and be really clear that I have my iPad in my hands. It's an iPad Pro 12.9, so the previous version of the iPad. I have downloaded our application from the App Store. I opened the application and now I am live because I have already connected to the MagniLink Air Go camera via the Wi-Fi. And again, I'm all free. I'm not connected. I'm connected wirelessly to the camera, and the camera could have been placed anywhere in this room. Or if we pretend this is a classroom, it could be on the side shelf, it could be in the very back, it could be more in the up front of the classroom. Anywhere in the classroom, and I would be connected. Multiple students can connect to this camera at the same time. If one controls the camera, it will physically move. Then, of course, it will move on any of the students' screen that's connected to it. So I'll come over to the other side. So I'm standing about 3 feet away now from the camera itself. It's kind of next to me here on the desk. And then I will have you come in a little closer on the screen. There are a couple of ways how to control the software and its features, meaning that how to control the cameras. I could take out the icon bar that's placed in the bottom if I prefer to use either gestures or short commands on a connected keyboard, or I can double tap to get the icon bar in the bottom and use those icons. So if I do the plus, I will magnify. If I do the minus, it will decrease the magnification. We are currently looking straight across this room. This is our demo room in Sweden. And I will demonstrate going quite a long way here with the magnification. I did prepare, this is actually for a previous webinar I did with the US, but you are, meaning the camera, the MagniLink Air Go, is 29 feet away from this whiteboard. I can come in closer on whatever is on here. Oh, I did put up Tisha's lunch menu. So let's go a little further in the magnification. This is just standard font that I printed. And we are now able to read this text 29 feet away. I can do OCR. I don't know how useful that will be in this situation, but just to prove that it's working.
Lunch 001217. Small plates, New England clam chowder, lobster bisque soda.
And it starts to read what's on the paper. I'll go back to be live again, and I will go and see. I saw that there was something above here. So the camera is following my finger movement. So when I touch the screen and I move my finger, the camera will follow. The further I go, the faster the camera will move. So I go left on the screen, the camera will just keep following. That makes it quite easy for someone in a distance situation to smoothly move or find what they are searching for, instead of doing that manually with their hand, grabbing a camera and trying in high magnification to find what they're looking for. Some say this is smoother and easier. So I'll give this a little more magnification. And that's my business card that I have placed on this whiteboard 29 feet away. I will now go into what Kimberly mentioned before, the preset position. So I have up to 6 preset positions. I do a long press on number 1 in this case. I will now zoom out all the way to prove how powerful this camera is and how far of a distance that is. Now we have zoomed out all the way. I can move the camera just to give the camera a little more tougher challenge to come back. So I have gone out in the magnification and I moved the camera a little left, a little down. I'm now going back to press number 1. There we go. And it's taking me quickly back to that preset position. So that's all about the productivity in a classroom. You can save some spots in distance. One could be for the door to the classroom to see who's coming, who's going. One could be for, let's say, the clock in the classroom, and a couple of other areas could be on where the teacher is or your friends are when they are up and talking in front of the class. We do have some successful experiments where the teacher is either drawing or taping on the whiteboard some square areas or rectangular areas, and then they help the student to preset those positions where the teacher, instead of being randomly anywhere on the whiteboard or the board in front, they try to be inside of those rectangles or squares just to help the student to keep up. So if the teacher would move now from the blue square to the green square on the board, then the student knows that, oh, the blue one is on preset number 2. I don't have that now, but they press number 2 and boom, they will be there. Some examples on when that could be useful, and I have now shown you how powerful this little camera is. I will take the webcam and have you come out a little bit. The MagniLink S, the versatile product that connects to your iPad, your Mac, your PC, your Chromebook, or just directly to a monitor. I'm now going to plug that into this iPad. It will boot up the camera in just a few seconds, and then it will show that image. Make some more space. So there we go. We will not spend a ton of time on this, but just to demonstrate, oops, sorry, I almost forgot that I should come a little closer. So what's going on my iPad now is on the top in this split, on the top of the screen, I'm still within the LVI software on my iPad, and I am still live with the MagniLink Air Go because I never disconnected that camera. So I'm still live here. In the bottom, in this case, I am live with, let me see if I can reach the camera. I did put in the remote control just to show that I'm live. I'm live with the near reading camera. So now I created a dual camera system in case that's important for my needs, to have one always for distance, one always for near. These are both portable / movable. I can have one every now and then. I can have both of them every now and then. So that's another way of using these cameras.
So
of course, yes, go ahead.
Your bottom image is upside down in the.
I did notice that.
Okay.
I can, of course, rotate that.
Okay. I just wanted people to know that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So now it's no longer. So I switched while Kimberly were asking or talking. I switched the split to have them side by side instead of top and down. Whatever works for you. I can also adjust the split between the two views to have the distance camera being a little larger or the opposite. So since we have a lot to cover, I will put that camera away for now. And then I will come back here. And now we will take a little deeper dive into the software and AI. Before we do so, I'm just going to make sure that my Bluetooth keyboard is connected. Yes, that works. Very good. Kimberly mentioned during her presentation earlier that these are all using the same software. Since we are still on the iPad for both the MagniLink Air Go behind me, the MagniLink S, the MLS, and now the iTab, they are all connected to an iPad. In this case, I have an iPad 13-inch Pro model that I have put here in the stand, and they are all using the same software. The only difference within the software is if I have the MagniLink Air Go product, the software recognizes that, oh, this is the MagniLink Air Go, and it's adding the preset position features and the controlling features up, down, left, and right, since the camera is motorized. But other than that, it's the same for any of those cameras because it's using the same software. So you have functions such as text to speech, meaning that the machine will read out loud for you what's on the paper. You have image saving, image opening, video recording, split screen modes, document saving. You can save and open documents, and so on and so on. But now we will go back to the screen and we will then take a little closer look on the AI part. So let's see, that seemed to be good. So now I'm far zoomed in on the iPad here, and it's using the external LVI Full HD camera, looking down on the paper underneath the camera that's placed next to the product. We can zoom in, zoom out, and so on and so on. But we will start with scanning this paper. To get to the AI portion or part of the software, some of you may have noticed that within the icon bar, there is an icon saying AI. If I just tap that one, I will go to the AI part of the software, but I'm not bringing any information with me. The reason I would do it that way, it would be if I already have scanned information from previously, then they will show up in the menu on the left. Or if I like to start a new blank conversation with AI, I can do so by pressing the plus on the top left. And now I'm ready to either speak or type to AI, not directly connected to any information or text. I didn't bring anything. If I do the same, but I do one finger long press or a tap with two fingers on the AI buttons, I will do a long press here. Let's see if we can. I will actually slide over and do a full page. So I need to turn the page a little bit like that. I will do a long press.
The assistant will answer questions regarding the following text. The seagulls.
It starts to read the text that I now brought with me. So the difference is the first time I only went to the AI part without bringing any information. The second time, this time, I scanned the text that's underneath the camera and I brought that information with me to the AI part. The third way before we continue here would be that I scanned by pressing the OCR. That means the text-to-speech function. If I know or if I think I just like to listen to this text, and then I press OCR.
The seagulls, often simply referred to as gulls.
Now I'm listening to the text. I have no AI here, but now I realize that I'd like to use some of those AI features for this text. Now I can directly from here bring it over to the AI part of the software. So those would be the three ways to go to the AI. I'm going back to live. Now, you remember what I showed the first time? I just do one tap on AI. It will take me to AI without bringing anything new, but I already have conversations from earlier. One that I started by pressing the plus, which it was a blank page, and one, the last one, that's the text that was underneath the camera that I brought with me. So let's work on this text a little bit now. So the text about seagulls in this case, it did bring over all the information, a full page scan here. So I'm swiping down in the text, and there's quite a lot of information. As Kimberly said before in her presentation, there could be a situation. I just want to know if Christopher is mentioned in the text. I just want to know, in this case with the seagulls, what they eat. Is that mentioned? I do type a message here. And then I take my keyboard and I type, what do seagulls eat?
Seagulls are omnivores, meaning they eat a wide range of foods. Their diet includes fish, insects, and even human leftovers.
So from the text that I had scanned, it found that information somewhere in the text and read that text out loud to me. So I didn't need, if that was the specific information I needed to know for now, I didn't need to read through or listen through the whole text. I could just ask, it will pick it up if it's there and share it with me. So that's also a way of speeding up my productivity. Before I continue, I almost forgot, there is, for this part, a settings menu. I can turn on and off start speech every time I ask for something. I can turn off the voice input. I will use that in just a minute. I can adjust the font size of the text, dark or light mode, and automatic language detection, which will also be demonstrated here in just a minute. Going back to the AI portion, I will ask verbally now. So I press, there is in the bottom, there is a microphone logo icon. I press and hold that now. Are seagulls important for the ecosystem?
Yes, seagulls play a crucial role in their ecosystems. As scavengers, they help keep the environment clean by consuming dead animals and organic waste. Their scavenging behavior also helps.
And it found that obviously they are important for the ecosystems. They found that information also from the same text that we scanned in before. I see that there is a little glitch. Let's see, that should be better. So let me now go back again to live. So now we're back live with the camera here. I will switch over to the other side. Here is brand new text underneath the camera. I will again do a long press on the AI.
The assistant will answer questions regarding the following text. Key facts about Sweden. Sweden is part of the Nordic region in Northern Europe, together with the countries of Denmark, Finland, Iceland, and Norway. Sweden is large in size, small in population. Population is 10,551,707 people, and its capital city is Stockholm. The Church of
And I waited a little longer on purpose now because I wanted it to cover the population. But let's say we didn't know, it has not yet read the population. But that's that is what we are curious to learn. So we can ask, what's the population of Sweden?
The population of Sweden is 10,551,707 people.
So it's picking that information up from the scan information that we had. Kimberly mentioned before scanning an invoice, for example. You can ask what's the total amount, when is it due, and so on and so on. Those are other examples on when this could be useful. We can ask something else here about Sweden. Let's see. Is Sweden a democracy? Democracy. Probably misspelled.
Yes, Sweden is a democracy. It is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary democracy.
And it's picking that information or the answer up. So now we have used our newly integrated AI functionality built into the software. We have used that in relation to the text that we have been viewing and listened to and scanned and processed. Those are useful features now to speed up the productivity of someone using this tool in a school or workplace environment. And you have it all built into our software. That's one of the beauty here, that you don't need to jump between different applications or go online. And you do have the low vision based, the basics of the features where you can do high contrast, magnify the text here, and so on and so on. When I'm either here, I'm still in this conversation that I started by scanning and bringing over the text that was under the camera, or I can go out to the left part of this view where the menu of my conversations are. I know I started one earlier, but I'll start a new one here. I'll start a blank conversation. And now I can ask anything. So this is ChatGPT in the background. So I can ask it anything. Kimberly asked me to prepare or ask it to write an essay. So I will type now, write me an essay about the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower is one of the most iconic landmarks in the world, located in the heart of Paris, France.
I will pause it, and I will slide down just to show that it's quite
standing at a height of 1,006.
Oops, sorry. It's quite a massive essay that it just made for me about the Eiffel Tower. I know it's a fine line. Is this useful? Is this cheating? And so on and so on. That's of course up to the teacher to decide in various situations. But this would be available more or less on the internet anyways. And the way to turn this off at the moment would be to turn off Wi-Fi or deactivate the license of the AI. But let's continue with the essay. I have now asked it to make me an essay of the Eiffel Tower. It was a long one. I don't want to listen to all of that or read through all of that. So I will ask it now to summarize.
The Eiffel Tower is an iconic landmark in Paris.
I will pause it and I will slide down, and that's it. So it gave me a summarize of that long text about the Eiffel Tower. Now I will do my final AI-based thing here. Translate to Swedish.
Eiffeltornet är en ikonisk landmärke i Paris, Frankrike.
I'm not expecting all of you to understand that, but it's translated now into correct Swedish. And when I earlier went to the settings menu, at the bottom, I did mention that there is automatic language detection. So now it's recognizing that this is Swedish and it starts to read in Swedish. Some of you may have noticed that it read in with another voice, and it's correct Swedish. I don't know if you find this beautiful, but let's listen to one more sentence.
Som står 1063 fot högt. Byggd 1889 för exposition universeller.
I'll stop there. Kimberly, any questions, any feedback, anything that you think should be mentioned, covered, showed?
So you guys, now there's a time for questions if you want to go into the chat. I know there's been some questions about pricing. Again, if I bring up pricing, just know it's US. And so I'm going to go over the pricing of the major products that we've shown. So the ML Air, the Air Go is 7,995. Again, this is retail pricing US. The MagniLink iTab, whether it's a 12.9 or a 13, it does fit the 13-inch Pro. The retail price is 3,695. If you're just getting the stand because you already have an MLS, the pricing is 1,895. If you are wanting to buy an MLS, because you can buy an MLS at the same time that you're getting the stand, we do offer combo pricing. So that is something that you can get if you purchase them at the same time. And that one's $5,590. And these, again, are all US pricing. Let me see if some of the other questions that are coming up, Christopher. Someone said, just to confirm, the AI is a function with the OCR. Yes. I'll let Christopher take that because I may answer it slightly differently. So go ahead, Christopher.
I would answer that as not directly. So I'm not zoomed in, so I don't think you will see this, but if I do, so you remember there's an an icon saying OCR. It would have been F4 on my keyboard as the short command. When I do that, I scan the text and it will be read out loud to me, so I can follow by either closing my eyes and listening, or I try to follow at the same time as it's reading to me what's on the screen. That's OCR, optical character recognition, and then AI can also read out loud to you. The text that's in the AI part of the software will also be read out loud, but you don't have to scan it with the OCR at first. By doing the long press, I don't have a good text here now, but let's do it anyways.
The assistant will answer questions.
I scan and bring over that text. You can kind of say that it's OCR as well. I don't know exactly the terms, if it's correct or not to say it is, but they do play together, but not necessarily. Probably not the best answer, but maybe
No, that's a clear answer. So like he said, they will work together, but no, they're not. They're separate features. If you have the OCR feature, which automatically comes with the MagLink Viewer software, that doesn't mean you have the AI feature. The AI feature is a separate feature. It's just used in conjunction with doing text to speech. So they're separate. They're different types of licenses. The AI is a separate license, and that was the $300 that's going up to $375 in March, and that is for AI. So that kind of brings up some of the other questions that are starting to come up. Well, how does that going to affect PC Viewer? How is that going to affect? Because with those, you buy a license for text to speech where you don't with the MagLink Viewer software. So just so you know, our plan is we started with iPad products. However, yes, you will start to see AI move throughout our other softwares. So it will eventually work across the board as much as we can in all of the softwares. However, because this is the next question that's going to come up, the next one that's going to be working will be with our tab product. So that software is called Tab Viewer that works in there. It's very similar to PC Viewer, but it is Tab Viewer because it's a little different how it works, and it will be working in that sometime in 2025. So that's how we're going down the road. We will then move forward and of course, look at it for PC Viewer with the MLS, etc. Um, so that is kind of the roadmap. Someone asked me the direct pricing for the MLS on its own. It's 3,995 US dollars. And then if you want text to speech, it is a $300 licensing fee per platform because we're paying Nuance for the text to speech license for PC and for Mac. She said, I think I'm asking, can it be used with the camera as well? Example, what color? Okay. So she's asking, what can it recognize a color? So if it scans in a chart, would it say that, the 300% a green bar and the 200% a yellow bar? So will it recognize color on the chart when it does OCR?
I have not seen that myself yet, but as Kimberly mentioned before, the next coming update, not too far from now, that will be released will mainly include two new functions or features. One will be handwriting scanning. I have seen that and it works extremely well. I really tried to do my worst when I was writing on a piece of paper, and it got it 100% accurate. The other part that is object recognition, object description, that to me is a little blurry by now. I haven't seen that. I have heard some talks about it. I know it will be included. I don't know exactly, other than you put a bill on the table, it will tell you what the bill is. I put a credit card on the table, it will tell you that this is a MasterCard that belongs to Christopher Caswell, expert, blah blah blah. I also know that we have talked about charts, colors for the mainly for the colorblind. You put three balls under the camera, like one blue, one red, one yellow. Can it tell you which one is which one, and so on? I have not seen that, so I cannot confirm that's coming and that will work well because I just simply don't know. But I do know that we have had talks about that, and we want to accomplish good resulted feature with that.
So that kind of brings up something else. You guys, we want your feedback. I mean, so yes, AI has been out there for a really long time, but we are a low vision company. So we're trying to make every single feature that we add be beneficial and useful for people that are legally blind. And so we want to know, what do you want it to do? Is color super important to you? We've had certain people ask for specific features. So one thing I want you guys to know is we're a little different than a Microsoft or an Apple. We're a smaller company. We're a niche market. We're here. We want to know what you guys think, and we're going to really listen. I'm not saying that those companies don't, but if somebody writes in and requests something, my joke is always, if do you have 19 friends? Because if you have 19 friends, that's 20 of you. And if you all write in and request the same thing, that we take that very serious. We look at all of our software applications every year. We look at all of our pieces of hardware every year. And we have something, and I'm going to put it up on the screen in a minute, but it's feedback@lviamerica.com. We're going to get information from you guys about what do you want for AI. Hey, it's great that you do this, but could it do this specifically? We have done a lot of updates with our MagniLink viewer software, probably more than I've seen with any of our softwares, to where we're not waiting every year to make updates. Of course, we're having to make things work as Apple changes with their iOS as well, but we want to hear from you. We really want to hear what you have to say. So these are all great questions and comments. I'm going to switch and share my screen. I think I might need to unpin you or I won't be able to share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen again. And that takes us to our last slide. And so, first of all, thank you for staying. We know we're a little bit over, which is not normal for us, but we knew there would be good questions and feedback, and we want to cover all of that. So, the email I was talking about that's up on the screen, it is feedback, FEEDBACK at LVIamerica.com. So, please send your feedback in about not just AI, but about all of our products, all of our softwares. And if you know that it's something that wouldn't just help you, but let's say you're a student, hey, my goodness, this would have helped 6 other students. Please get the word out and have people write into feedback at lviamerica.com. I am Kimberly Klein. We do thank you for joining today. If you want to reach out to me for anything, you can text or call me at 702-468-6611, or you can email me at kimberly.klein@lviamerica.com. We also have a picture up here of Lizzie Harris, and Lizzie made the PowerPoint. She's behind the scenes making us look good. And you can reach out to Lizzie at 423-822-8660. And you can also email her at Elizabeth, ELIZABETH.Harris@LVIamerica.com. So thank you for joining today. Thank you for your time. And those of you that are going to ATIA, we look forward to seeing you soon. We will have a booth. We will have AI there. Please come by, tell us, other features you'd like added to AI. And then we also are doing a presentation. So if you're able to come to that presentation, that would be great. And we'll be doing a drawing for a large print keyboard as well. So please come by, say hello. And again, thank you everyone for your time today and have a great day.